Lucy, welcome back to my channel. This is my second year experience video with a little side of a grade reaction because I love watching this on YouTube because I am incredibly nosy and I decided to just film that while I got my grades. So I'm going to slide that in there for a little bit of excitement for you. But basically I'm going to go over, and I've got the same notebook as last year, I'm going to go over my second year experience. It's a completely different experience to first year. It has been the longest and the shortest year of my life so far. Like, well, I don't know, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but in comparison, like, I thought the first year went fast, but this is insane, absolutely insane. But the thing is, I don't remember that much about it. The year's just gone by and I've just gone with it. Last year I could remember so much, and like how I was feeling at all these different points within the course, and I remember every detail. But I guess that's what you do when it's completely new and you're a first year. I literally had to go back over my timetable from the start of year 2 to remind myself what we did. But yeah, I'm just going to basically go through what I did in second year, how it was different, and sort of like all the stuff we got up to. It's been a mad year, and I feel like I haven't really captured a lot of it because I've been so busy. But then when I look back on all my content, I'm like, oh, maybe I did. And it's so funny, I just watched back my first year video, and to just see myself and just listen to myself is so funny. I look so young and so happy, and now I just feel like old. I feel like I've aged like 10 years, I feel like I look older. But I think that's just me being a bit crazy over it. But yeah, on that note, after watching that video back, I realised that second year comes with its completely different amount and individual fears and worries. Before, I was worried about things like, oh, will I get on with the people in uni, the midwives on placement, what will I wear, and stuff like that. That's what I used to worry about. But now it's like, I'm worried about assignments, passing assignments and going to placement and being a good student. Because I guess the first year it's like a practice year anyway, because it doesn't count. And this year everything did feel like a bit more real, and I worried a bit more about the individual aspects of the course rather than personal things. So yeah, that sort of is what's different. Uni wise, everything was just harder. I found it so hard academically this year. My grades were not as good as they were in first year, but that's normal, I think, and it's expected. But I'm still pretty happy with how that turned out. So yeah, but I had 4 units this year, or 5 if you include like placement units, and they were altered health conditions, so caring for women with altered health conditions, public health and well-being, complex neonate, or care of the complex neonate, and care of the complex woman, and then practice module, which is a placement. For altered health, I did a case study. I'd never written a case study before. I found it really interesting actually, because it was taking something that I dealt with in placement and sort of looking into it and writing about it and analysing the care. And I wrote about caring for a woman in labour with gestational diabetes. So that was really interesting to me, because that is something I was interested in before starting the course, gestational diabetes. For public health, we did a presentation. We had to come up with like a health promotion tool and present it. Did it in a group with my 2 friends, Jess and Peggy. I'm sure I posted about that at the time. That was a tough one. Group work is always difficult, not because I don't like the people I was in a group with, obviously they're my best friends, but yeah, just like, you know, working together and around people, it's harder. But what I was really proud of what we came up with in the end anyway. And then I had complex neonate, which was an essay. I did my essay about respiratory distress syndrome in neonates, so that's term and preterm, which was interesting. Since writing that essay, I've only used my knowledge once. I sort of regret picking that topic, because it's not something you see as commonly as midwives, but actually it was interesting, and I'm sure it will help me in the future. And then I had an exam for my complex midwifery care module, and that is the grade reaction you're going to get, and I guess if I slot that in now, that will work perfectly. I'm getting a grade today, and I thought I'd make a reaction video. Just to put a little bit of background into this grade, which I'm getting, how I feel about it. This was my midwifery emergencies exam, so it was complex midwifery care, and it was a really, really tough exam. I don't know if I passed it. That's why I thought this would be a funny video, because oh my gosh, in about an hour's time I'm going to be so nervous. Yeah, my grade comes out at 2 o'clock. It's about 1 o'clock now, so So I thought I'd do this talky bit before because I'm going to be so nervous. I don't know if I passed it, I might have failed it and then we'll resit it. But who knows. It was a 3-hour exam. We had 4 scenarios, all of sort of emergency situations. So there were 4 different topics. In the exam we wrote about antepartum hemorrhage, shoulder dystocia, preeclampsia and sepsis. It was an unseen paper, didn't know what was coming up, and it could have been a mixture of things, but it was a tough exam. So I'm hoping I'll pass it. So I will hopefully cut now to me opening my results and hopefully I don't cry. But we never know. Just a bit of background, my results usually range anywhere between like a 60 and a 70. I don't think I've ever got anything like above like a 72, and I've not got anything lower than a 60. So that's my usual range. Going from that, I don't know if I'm gonna hit 60. With this exam, I definitely won't be getting a 70. It was real tough, but yeah. Actually, I just lied. I got a 94 in my anatomy and physiology, but I studied that before, so yeah. That's how my grades are looking. So we're back on the video. My hair's looking a bit rough. I just basically for the last hour FaceTime my friend Peggy, just catching up about placement and things. But yeah, my results should be out now. I've not actually logged in. I probably should have done that before I turn my camera on. But yeah, let's see what we got. I am actually so nervous because I genuinely am worried that I've failed, and I don't really know what I should have been. In all honesty, all this time I should have just been revising for my resit. Because the fact, oh, I'm so scared. I'm actually so scared. I don't want to look. I don't want to look. Oh my Christ. Oh, I passed. I got 57%, which is just fine. I'm safe. Oh, I'm so happy that I just passed. 57%, I'll take it. It's a pass. I mean, I'm slightly disappointed, but I did it to myself. Like, I could have revised more, could have done more. It was a tough exam, all of that stuff. But 57, I'll take it. What did I get in the... Oh, it tells me the individual points. Oh. So each section was out of 25 marks. For 3 sections, I got the same. And then for one, I got less, which is so annoying because I could have just done that. This is just a little update to this section of the video as I'm editing. I go on to next talk about like what I got in the individual parts of the exam, but I just read it wrong obviously because I was so shocked. In there I said I got like 15% in each of the sections, which I didn't. I got 15 out of 25, which is 60%. Yeah. 15 out of 25 in 3 of the sections and 12 out of 25 in the other section. So overall that makes 57%. I didn't get like 15, 15, 15 and 12 because what would that make? 36. Yeah, basically that's what I got. Not what I was going to say in the rest of the video. So yeah, as you can see, I was happy-ish with that result. With all my results, I was just pleased that they were passes, basically. That was my lowest result, complex neonate. No, not complex neonate, complex care of midwifery care. So I'm pretty sure I get to drop that grade, if that's how it works. And I hope it does, because that works out better for me if I do get to drop that one. And then obviously we got graded on placement, but I'll talk about placements in a minute. I also had to do a pebble pad portfolio alongside that throughout the year, and that was the most boring thing I've ever written in my life. To be quite honest with you, it was very boring. The content was good, but I just found it hard to like work at something like little and often. It's one of the things I need to work on myself. Yeah, the work individually was not boring actually. I don't know why I said that. It was just I left it a bit last minute, so then it just became more of a struggle than it should have been. So yeah, when I was watching my last year's video back, I remember I was saying, oh, do your things, don't leave it to the last minute, because that's what I did this year, It was really hard. I've literally done exactly the same again this year. Maybe next year I'll learn. Hopefully I will, because I have to write a whole dissertation. I don't think I can do that last minute. But yeah, aside from the academic work placement this year, I enjoyed so much more. I feel like because I could do more things, and even though at the end of my first year I was similarly competent to how I started this year, so there wasn't that big a gap between finishing first year and going out into placement as a second year. It was just the confidence of knowing that I've had a year, and I think it was more psychological, that barrier. So I went out on to all of my second year placements with much more confidence, and I just went and did stuff, and it worked well for me. I ended up getting a high grade on placement, which I was really happy about. But yeah, I had lots of different placements this year. I had labour ward placement, community placement, the special care baby unit placement, and an elective placement. Let's talk about electives quickly. I was going to make a video, most of you know I went to Ghana. I was going to make a video about that, and I still have like it half made. I don't know if I'm going to finish it though. The motivation to finish the video just isn't there. I didn't film enough whilst I was there, and I was going to do like a talking over the things which I did film thing, but I don't know, just my passion for it's not there at the moment. But when, I'm sure there'll be a time when I feel like I want to finish that video, but I've said so many times it's coming, and then I just go to do it, and then I'm just like, oh, I just don't have that want to finish it at the moment. Not that my experience in Ghana wasn't good, it was absolutely incredible. The content which I collected doesn't reflect my experience there, and it was an amazing experience. I won't talk too much about it now because I do think I'll end up doing a video at some point. It might just not be the video that I thought it was going to be. My placement was a short placement in special care baby unit, 2 weeks. It was really interesting to learn like what happens on the other side, and to learn a little bit, and was able to give a good amount of breastfeeding support and just see sort of how they work around there. It was interesting, not my favourite placement. And then I was on labour ward. Most people know, I don't know, I say that most people know. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I finished for second year on 11 births, which is not good. Well, it's not that many. I finished first year on 2, so this year that means I only delivered 9 babies. My trust is smallish, and there's a lot of students, which makes it hard for us to all get births, but it's something we're working on, and we just go in there and we still give incredible care to women, and we just don't always get the births, but that's not really what it's about. So I'm not worried too much about it. Everyone assures me that everyone gets their deliveries and I'll get there in the end, blah 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 blah. But yeah, I enjoyed my labour ward placement this year. I had really good mentors and a lovely time, and I learnt a lot. However, my favourite placement would be my community placement. I worked with 2 incredible mentors in a really supportive and kind team, and I really felt like, well, my community placement was at the end of my second year, and I felt really competent and really confident to give really good midwifery care. I started that block just after I finished all of my academic stuff in uni, and I just felt like I had all of this knowledge that was like fresh in my mind and ready to use, and I felt really confident and happy to go out and just work with these midwives, and that's what I did, and I had a great time. I didn't want to leave, but I had to. But that was my favourite placement this year, community. So overall, I had a great year looking back. However, like one of the overarching emotions that I associate with second year is stress and anxiety. But I think a lot of the time that's feelings that I put on myself rather than reactions to things that have happened to me, because when I look over it as a whole, I've done really well and I should be really proud of myself, but throughout it there was a lot of hard work and, you know, I hate this phrase, but like grinding to get to where I am now, feeling happy and ready to go into third year. Yeah, looking back, I am really proud of what I've achieved, and I think I am a good student midwife. And I don't think like us as students give ourselves enough time sometimes to just reflect and think, I am a good student. That one day where you, I don't know, forgot something or you didn't feel like you did a great job, it's nothing really in the grand scheme of things, because I'm sure you've learned from everything. And that's really one of the things I'll take away from second year, is when things aren't going the way I wanted them to, I find it hard not to be perfect all the time, which is really funny because no one's perfect all the time, and that's just one of those mental things which I think about all the time. I always want to be the best, I want to be a great student midwife, but actually in reality I'll never be the best probably, because everyone's good at different things and no one's amazing at everything, and if they are, well, then well done to them. But yeah, I put a lot of pressure on myself to be good at everything, but actually sometimes I have to remind myself that in midwifery someone who is excellent and incredible and becomes an amazing midwife in 3 years, that's really good for them. But some people, they'll be a good enough midwife by the end of their 3rd year, and then within another 2 years or so they'll be an incredible midwife as well. We're always learning, so it's not like you finish your degree and you stop and then that's it. You'll only ever be as good as that grade on your paper or whatever. So I have to remind myself that sometimes as well, because I don't want to burn out. That's one of the main things. Yeah, I didn't really write a lot to say in my 2nd year experience because I can't remember a lot of it. All I remember is going from sort of one assignment to the next and like cramming and then finishing it and then feeling relief and then gearing up for the next one, cramming and finishing it and feeling relief. And next year I don't want to be like that. I don't want to cram. I want to spend some time like working on my style of being a midwife and seeing how I fit into midwifery as a whole here. And I really look forward to writing a dissertation actually, in some weird twisted way, because I hate essay writing. I'm not a writer, but in some weird twisted way I look forward to doing it. I don't know, I feel like your dissertation is like something you take with you always. I always ask midwives like, what did you write a dissertation on? Because it's just interesting to think like where their mind was at when they were just finishing their degree. What was something which they felt was important or interesting at the time. But yeah, for anyone going into 2nd year, I wish you the best of luck. And I would just say, like, remind yourself more often than you probably think you need to that you're doing a good job. Because it's so easy to get caught up in seeing where you can improve. But I've been told that's normal as well. 2nd year's hard. The 2nd year slump is real. I had it about 5 times probably, every time I had a deadline. But we all get through it, and to be now at the end of 2nd year is a weird feeling. And to go into 3rd year is a weird feeling. I sort of feel like there's a ticking time bomb on my university time now. It's only 1 more year to go, and I've actually done 3 years of uni. I'm sure a lot of people know I did a year somewhere else before I started midwifery, so it feels weird to have a year left. I don't think I'm ready to just have a year left, but obviously I'm sure soon enough I'll feel like I just want to finish and qualify and be a midwife and earn some actual money. But yeah, and I look forward to watching this video again in a year's time and seeing how much I've grown again, because if I grow just the same amount as I've done from the last year to now, I can't imagine the person I'll be, because I am so different now, which is odd. And I'm sure that's not just because of my degree, it'll be because of personal life things as well. But looking back and seeing how I was feeling a year ago was really interesting, and I can't wait to look back at this video and see how much I've changed. I hope I'm happy, I hope I still love the job, but we'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. It's not as insightful as the first, I guess, but it's more personal this time around, rather than, I don't know, it's just different, isn't it? Everything changes in a year. A year's a long time. But yeah, feel free to leave a comment, ask me questions, send me messages on Instagram. So yeah, follow me on Instagram. I also have Twitter now. Comment, like, subscribe, do whatever you're meant to do. I'll link all of my social stuff down below. And yeah, I look forward to making more videos, hopefully in 3rd year. But I don't know. I don't know how well that's gonna go. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.